Drei Ecken hat mein Hut. Und hat nicht drei Ecken, dann ist es nicht mein Hut.
Opa's Corner's on its way, doo-dah, doo-dah. Got a letter from Grandpa the other day. He writes, "The other day I went up to a local Christian bookstore and saw a Honk If You Love Jesus bumper sticker. I was feeling particularly sassy that day because I had just come from a thrilling choir performance, followed by a thunderous prayer meeting. So I bought the sticker and put it on my bumper. Boy, am I glad I did. What an uplifting experience that followed. I was stopped at a red light at a busy intersection, just lost in thought about the Lord and how good He is. And I didn't notice that the light had changed. It is a good thing that someone else loves Jesus, because if He hadn't honked, I'd never have noticed. I found that lots of people love Jesus. Why, while I was sitting there, the guy behind started honking like crazy, and then he leaned out his window and screamed, "For the love of God, go, go, go! Jesus Christ, go!" What an exuberant cheerleader he was for Jesus. Everyone started honking. I just leaned out my window and started waving and smiling at all these loving people. I even honked my horn a few times to share in the love. There must have been a man from Florida back there, because I heard him yelling something about Sunny Beach. I saw another guy waving in a funny way with only his middle finger stuck up in the air. I asked my teenage grandson, who was sitting in the back seat, what it meant, and he said that it was probably a Hawaiian good luck sign or something. Well, I never met anyone from Hawaii, so I leaned out the window and gave him a good luck sign back. My grandson burst out laughing. Why, even he was enjoying this religious experience. A couple of the people were so caught up in the joy of the moment that they got out of their cars and started walking towards me. I bet they wanted to pray or ask me what church I attended. But this is when I noticed that the light had changed. So I waved to all my sisters and brothers, grinning, and drove through the intersection. I noticed I was the only car that got through the intersection before the light changed again, and I felt kind of sad that I had to leave them all the love we had shared. So I slowed the car down, leaned out the window, and gave all the Hawaiian good luck sign one more time as I drove away. Praise the Lord for such wonderful folks. Three new corpses are delivered to the morgue one day, each with a smile on their face. The inspector wants to know how they died. The mortician examines each of them and says who they are and their cause of death. First body, Frenchman, age 60. Died making love to his mistress, hence the smile on his face. Second body, Irishman, age 30. Won $1 million in the lottery. Spent it all on whiskey and died of alcohol poisoning, hence the smile on his face. The inspector then asks, "What about the third body?" The mortician says, "This is perhaps the most interesting of all. This is Justin, age 25, a flat earther. He was struck by lightning.
Why is he smiling then?
He thought he was getting his picture taken. A man was being interviewed for a job.
How do you explain this 4-year gap on your resume?
That's when I went to Yale.
Wow, that's impressive. You're hired.
Thanks. I really needed this job. My first job was working in an orange juice factory. But I got canned. Couldn't concentrate. Did you hear about the notebook that married the pencil? She finally found Mr. Right. I was told never to date a tennis player. Love means nothing to them. We have enough youth. How about a fountain of smart? You don't need a parachute to go skydiving. You do need a parachute to go skydiving twice. The early bird might get the worm, but the second mouse gets the cheese. I just read that alligators can grow up to 15 feet, but I haven't seen any with more than 4 feet. I told my niece I saw a moose on the way to work this morning. She said, "How do you know he has a job?" It's never a good idea to keep both feet firmly on the ground. You'll have trouble putting your pants on. Change is inevitable, except from a vending machine. I spent a lot of time, money, and effort child-proofing my house. But the kids still get in. You'll always stay young if you live honestly, eat slowly, sleep sufficiently, work industriously, worship faithfully, and lie about your age. When life gives you melons, you might be dyslexic. I didn't think orthopedic shoes would help, but I stand corrected. A blind man walked into a bar, and a table and a chair. How do you make holy water? You boil the hell out of it. How does the man in the moon get his hair cut? Eclipse it. I went to buy some camouflage trousers the other day, but I couldn't find any. How does NASA organize a party? They plan it. My friend says to me, "What rhymes with orange?" I said, "No, it doesn't." And now for the funnies. Cat Cobain. I've been sitting in this heart-shaped box for weeks. Shrinkflation. These Hershey Kisses are now called Air Kisses. MyDNA.com. How about that? My father is a baseball bat, and my mother is a number 2 pencil. The classic show, Mr. Retriever's Neighborhood.
I'm going to walk around the neighborhood and
Pee on things.
would you like to join me?
That sounds delightful. Where's Waldo for Dummies? Wow, those big red arrows really help. More facts of nature. All forest animals to this very day remember exactly where they were and what they were doing when they heard that Bambi's mother had been shot.
I was down by the edge of the lake at the time.
I was in the glen just finishing a new burrow when I got the news. I was just getting ready to cross the interstate.
I was looking for crawdads in my favorite creek.
I was under a rock getting ready to shed. Mobster Slapman. Marriage counseling. The problem, as I see it, is that you both are extremely adept at pushing each other's buttons. Could you not bring the garlic breadcrumbs tomorrow? I'm bringing a date. Now remember, Corey, show us that you can take good care of these little fellas, and maybe next year we'll get you that puppy. Cockroach Farm. Hours of revolting entertainment. Listen, I'm sick of vacuuming fur. Could you just color match a carpet to this? This must be it, chickens. The legendary ugliest place on earth. It certainly has taken the romance out of Bigfoot mystery. Acme Windshield Company. How did the move go? It's been a month and we're still living out of boxes. You are so darn lucky. For heaven's sakes, Murray, we're supposed to leave in 5 minutes, and you're not even drawn yet.
See how the vegetation has been trampled flat here, Jimmy? That tells me where a deer bedded down for the night. After a while, you'll develop an eye for these things yourself.
How to win a doe. I'm sorry. Try the wizard up the road. I just used my last heart and brain.
I can't believe I just got mooned. The fake McCoys. Your first of 7 courses is a bowl of kibble to simply stare at and refuse to eat.
This place is fancy.
Dogs that drink from the toilet bowl. After this. Airline extra fees. Safe landing, doors, tires, working engine. These extra fees are getting out of hand.
Not only did they take the cheese, they replaced it with catnip.
Remember, you're a caregiver. Babysitter is an outdated term, but you're still getting $8 an hour. Free hugs.
Well, that's clearly a scam.
Ancient Egyptians worshipped the deity known as Eat and Sleep All Day. Through some unfortunate celestial error, Ernie is sent to Hog Heaven.
I'm getting super paranoid. Every time I enter a room, someone says they were just speaking of me.
Self-portrait. IKEA. New updated international seating. And that concludes another Opa's Corner.
Mein Hut, der hat 3 Ecken. 3 Ecken hat mein Hut. Und hat nicht 3 Ecken, dann ist es nicht mein Hut.
Opa's Corner is now available on my own YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe.